So, Christmas is canceled because food stamps, I guess, are cut because the Democrats don't want to open the government. I guess I don't really have a problem with the idea of not having Christmas. I mean, I've been trying to do that in my family for the last like 4 years. I'm not good at it. I always end up buying them a bunch of gifts, but I talk trash like we ain't spending this money on Christmas. This is just getting us to waste money. I get it. So like, I'm not super against the idea. I guess the only thing that's kind of confusing for me is like now because the stamps are off. Now you don't think you should go spend a bunch of money on toys and stuff. Prior to that, when if you are starving right now, if you are literally dependent on stamps to survive, meaning you cannot survive and feed your family without SNAP benefits, what are you doing buying Christmas gifts in the first place? Why didn't you then stop buying toys and Christmas gifts? Wouldn't that have been the smart, responsible thing to do for your family? If now EBT's cut off and you literally can't survive and now your kids cannot eat and they're all gonna, well, this is the holiday season, what were you gonna buy toys with? Use that to buy your food, I guess, but I don't get it. Why isn't this just the way we think anyway? Like, hey, I don't have the means to go out and buy all this stuff because I'm solely dependent on government assistance and government housing that without it, I would obviously be ready to riot and rob stores. So, like, maybe you already should have been out buying Christmas gifts. So, Roland Martin is, well, he's the big one at the end. Yeah. Some of y'all just thinking about the next 6 months to a year. And I get these black people, man, they coming over here, they taking our jobs. Wrong. This wrong is, listen to me, black people. These white supremacists got you using the same language. That's right. Using the same language as them. And I already know. I know all you FBA B1 dumbasses who will run your mouth, do your video, say they ain't go here, activated, he ain't Haitian. I'm not. And if you want to what? Right. My granny from here. Grandparents from here. Great-grandparents from here. My maternal, paternal ancestors migrated from Haiti and leave you with 3 other grandparents, dumbasses. But, by the way, all you dumbass FBA and B1 people, black immigrants account for 10% of the U.S. population. And so when we're talking about congressional seats, and we're talking about abortion, we're talking about census dollars, stuff on those lines, guess what? Those black immigrants are included. So you don't want that 10%. Because see, you don't want the number of folks who are black immigrants who are in Minnesota. You don't want those black immigrants in Houston, part of the Nigerian population. You don't want those black folks in Liberia, black folks from Bermuda. See, this is when I need our people to stop listening to YouTube economists, TikTok anthropologists, and Instagram political scientists to understand the larger picture what we're dealing with here. Which means listen to Roland Martin. Stop listening to anybody. Just listen to Roland Martin. I mean, he's been doing this for years. Since I was your age, I can pull up cartoons from the Boondocks to show him a depiction of him overweight with a bunch of nice watches and chains and suits on, walking around selling lies to people. He's been doing this for years. And you see the 3 people, yep. Ain't nobody taking your job. What do you mean? We just saw a bunch of Lyft and Uber drivers get arrested in Chicago. You trying to tell me that there's no black people that want to drive Uber or Lyft? What do you mean? Any immigrant here taking any job. Hey, what did I tell you the other day about that Popeyes firehouse? Oh. That the whole thing is full of Hispanics and no one can speak English. Yeah, hey, my daughter is just 15. She turned 15. She's going to need a job. I'd rather fast food places still be hiring American young teenagers instead of hiring grown men, right? And then I got to send my daughter in these places to work. I want her to get a job as a 15-year-old. And I think that's, like a Chick-fil-A. That's where all the kids go to get a job. Well, no, not anymore because I was a store manager and I'll tell you, if I got the choice between hiring a kid with a bunch of rules and restrictions who can't fully work and versus hiring Manuel, this grown man that I could pay under the table and pay at a cheaper price, I'm gonna hire Manuel and work him like a dog and not worry about any complaints because who's he gonna complain to? No one, he can't. Because then they'll get
boot out of the country. But Democrats want that. Roland Martin wants that. Like go, you big dummies. And then you hear what he's talking about. Like, oh yeah, the more black immigrants, then that means the more congressional seats. Oh, that means, because remember we talked about the census, the more people, right? And then we talked about what's going on right now with the Supreme Court. They're in the middle of hearing the Civil Rights Act, where you can divide up congressional districts based on color. Remember that? We did a video about that, and I said before, like, I don't want to be put in the same district as some of these guys who like are into YNs and into doing just because we're the same color don't mean I want to have the same representations of them. No way. There's people who walking around like Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland, was just on the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God straight up said, yeah, we have zero accomplishments you had because you literally have accomplished nothing since you've been a mayor except like blowing the budget. But man, we really like your vibe, man. Like, people want to vote for you again because you got such good vibes. Meaning, he's fun at the cookout. So that's why Wes Moore is getting support in Maryland, not for anything he's accomplished, but because he's fun at the cookout. Do I want my congressional leader to be represented by people who think being cool at a cookout is worth a vote? No. I'd rather be assigned a district right here near the people we live next to now, who ain't really worried about whether or not you can dance or do the coolest dance move at the cookout. They're worried about what you're going to do for this state. That's what it's always about, boys. Just remember that with all this stuff, man. These dudes are liars. And they're selling you false hope to keep you broke so they can stay rich. That's all it is. And every one of them we look at, every civil rights leader who gets up and talks and stuff, they're all rich. While they tell you, you got to stay poor. There's nothing you can do. Because a YT man ain't going to let you. They don't tell you their secret. Like, well, how'd you get rich, man? How are you pulling this off in a super racist? Like, what? How is that possible for you guys to be able to get rich? But the rest of us just got to stay poor because of racism? Okay.